All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got music on my mind, I can never get enough.
Hi all, Ballfield here again with Ramp Football. Right now I'm just going to be doing my predictions for this weekend's Premier League fixtures, scores and what might happen. It's going to be a big weekend. Last weekend was mental. Results were all over the place. I was terrible at it. Chelsea were terrible, but because of the Super Cup final, I think Chelsea have improved already as a team, and they're starting to understand Frank's ideas. So I will get to that game as well. But we're going to go through the games. So the first one is the 12:30 kickoff, and that is Arsenal versus Burnley. Burnley are a good little unit, but I think this new Arsenal attack is going to be too good for them. I'm going to go 2-0 to the Arsenal. The next games are obviously 3 o'clock games, and the first one is Aston Villa versus Bournemouth. This is a tricky one. Bournemouth are a bit of a strange team. They can either be really good or just really bad. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw here. Don't really know much about Aston Villa, but what I saw against Tottenham for most of the game, they did pretty well, and I think a bit more experience in the Premier League, they're going to improve. Obviously another one after that is Brighton West Ham. West Ham pretty poor when they go to Brighton. So, and I really do hate West Ham. I'm being a Chelsea fan because half my family are Chelsea, half my family are West Ham. So I'm going to be a bit biased here. I'm going to go 1-0 to the Brighton. Come on Brighton, do them. Next game, at home, Everton against Watford. This is an interesting one. Both teams should be better than they were the first week. Everton's manager, I think, still sussing a fake. And Watford, one of them teams, are either brilliant or they're rubbish. You can never figure it out with them either. So, but I've got a feeling Everton are going to pull it off this one, and I'm going 2-1 to the Everton. After that, we got Norwich versus Newcastle. Newcastle surprised a lot of people against Arsenal. They played pretty well and only lost 1-0 last week. I can see this being a close game, and Norwich, if they go silly attack again, they're going to learn in the Premier League. They're going to be taken apart. But I've got a 0-0 on this one. I don't think there's going to be any goals. I think it's going to be a boring draw. And a point's actually probably good for both of them right now to get their season started. And yes, so 0-0. After that, we've got a 3 o'clock, the last 3 o'clockers. It's Southampton versus Liverpool. This is only going one way. Liverpool played Chelsea. Liverpool had chances. Chelsea played amazing though, and had a lot of chances themselves and could have easily won the game. And well, Liverpool could have had a penalty in the first half with VAR in that game. Chelsea should have had the 5th penalty retaken for Alisson's foot off the line. What's the new rule? But apparently VAR only works when it chooses to. So VAR's a bit of a mess to me right now, but we'll get off that because we're talking about Southampton versus Liverpool. I don't think Southampton have got anything, and I think Liverpool's attack's amazing. I know Liverpool are going to be tired though, because it's a long game and long travel, and it is an earlier kickoff than they used to. So I'm going to go only 1-0 to Liverpool. That's only because of tiredness. Otherwise, I think Liverpool would win about 3 or 4-0. Then we've got the 5:30 kickoff. This is the big one of the weekend. It's obviously Manchester City versus Tottenham. This game is going to be really good, I think. Both teams love attacking football, but I still think that Man City is going to have too much for Tottenham on the day. Not much, but I'm going to go 2-1 to Man City, and I'm actually going to say Tottenham take the lead. What wakes Man City up? Then we've got Sunday's fixtures. We've got at 2 o'clock Sheffield United versus Crystal Palace. I personally think this game's going to bore the hell out of me. Zaha still being a child. Get on with it. You want enough money, mate. You couldn't get your move. Be professional and play it until you do move. Give it all for the team. Them fans who paid to show up for you, mate. So I do think though that this will be a 1-0 Crystal Palace win. Then we've got the 4:30. Frank Lampard's return to Stamford Bridge as manager finally. Chelsea versus Leicester City. I personally think this will be, if Chelsea play like they did against Liverpool in the first 45 minutes and the first 45 minutes against Manchester United, I think Chelsea's going to win this comfortably. Maybe I'm biased, I'm a Chelsea fan, but I've got a feeling on 3-0 Chelsea. The defence looks stronger against Liverpool. Mane's second goal was fan-bloody-tastic against Chelsea. You can't blame the defence for that. He hit that so well. Maybe a little offside. But you know, we could have played for the offside, but you know, that's inexperience of us. Defence was not played together much lately. So yeah, I've got a feeling this is going to be 3-0 Chelsea. And then we get to Monday, a big one again. Monday night football. I do love a bit of Monday night football because Mondays are boring. You're depressed. You've been back to work. This one is obviously Wolves versus Manchester United. Yes, Man United fans have been going around like the big I am because they beat Chelsea 4-0. Fair enough. Your cup final, that's how far you've fallen. But defensively, you did look poor against Chelsea. Everyone said Maguire had a great game. But if you look into it, De Gea made loads of good saves. A few inches here and there, and Chelsea will hit the bar or crossbar. They have goals in the back of the net. Totally different game. So, this game, I think Wolves are a brilliant team. I think their acquisitions of players again this season have been very smart. And I think Man United fans are too cocky. I've just got a feeling on Wolves winning this one 2-0. I think Wolves are a great team, and I think they're the outside bet for the top 6. So, yeah, that's pretty much my scores. Now, we're going to go on to someone else's scores who I'd like to invite on, and he should be just up here.
Hi guys, Simon here, giving my predictions of the Premier League this weekend. So, start off, Arsenal-Burnley. I think it's going to be a Burnley win, 2-1. Don't at me. Aston Villa-Bournemouth. I'm going to give that a 1-1, I think. Yeah, not much. I'm going to go on that one. Brighton-West Ham. I think this could be a good game. It could be 2-2. I'm thinking of that one. Everton and Watford. I'm going to give Watford this win. I'm going to give this Watford 2-0. Norwich and Newcastle. Say no more. Should be 3-0, hopefully. If we don't, Mike Ashley needs to fuck off. Southampton Liverpool. Going to give this to Liverpool. I'm going to give this one to 3-1 to Liverpool. I think Liverpool are playing quite well at the moment, so I think Liverpool will get that one. City and Tottenham. I think it's City's. I think City are going to be one of the teams to beat. I think it's going to be 3-2. 3-2 City. Moving on to Sunday's games. Sheffield United and Crystal Palace. That could be a good game, that. I'll give that one to Sheffield United. I'll give that 2-0. I can't see Palace scoring. Chelsea and Leicester. After recent performances, it could be a 1-1 draw, I think. I can't see it being much in that. And then the final game, Wolves and Manchester United. I think it's going to be Man United again. I think Man United are going to win easily 2-0. Okay, so that's my predictions for this week, guys. I've got a podcast called the Simon Says Podcast. Link will be in the description from Phil. So, see you around.
This is Colin from the Half and Half Scarves podcast, and our friend Phil asked me to record a video with my predictions for this weekend's Premier League action. So here we go. Arsenal-Burnley. I know Burnley won 3-0 out last time. Arsenal are back at home. I'm sure some of the new players will play. Arsenal 3, Burnley 1. Villa-Bournemouth. Aston Villa were pretty good in the first half against Spurs last weekend. Bournemouth were kind of underwhelming. I think it's a draw. I think it's a Desmond 2-2. Brighton West Ham. I know Brighton won 3-0 last weekend, but I still think they'll be in a relegation scrap. West Ham recruited pretty well in the summer, and at times they were alright against Man City in the first half. West Ham 3, Brighton 1. Everton Watford. Everton, I know they've signed a lot of players. I don't fancy their manager. I don't rate him, Marco Silva. I think he's a fraud. Watford looked underwhelming. It's another draw, 1-1. Norwich Newcastle. Well, Norwich are going to be banging trouble this season if they play like they did against Liverpool. Newcastle looked pretty good against Arsenal, I thought. New players didn't look too bad. I think Newcastle will go there and win 2-0. Southampton Liverpool. Liverpool, we know what they're going to do. They're going to go there. They're going to score 4 goals. I'll give Southampton a consolation goal. Liverpool 4, Southampton 1. Man City Spurs, the game of the weekend. It could really be anything, but I just think Man City are going to be too strong. And I think they're going to run over them a little bit. Man City 3, Spurs 1. Sheffield United versus Palace. I won't even bother watching this game. Can you imagine? Life's too short. That's a 0-0. Bore draw. Chelsea-Leicester. Chelsea back at Stamford Bridge. Very impressive in the Super Cup against Liverpool. Leicester kind of a bit slow against Wolves last weekend. I think it's Chelsea 3, Leicester 1. Wolves, Man United. Wolves, I do rate Wolves. They've got the Europa League thing going, but I still think at home they'll have something about them. Man United were a bit flattered by Chelsea's defence. I think it's another Desmond. It's a 2-2, and I think Rashford scores both goals for Man United. But do not run down the bookies and put your money on it, because I'm notoriously bad at predicting anything. Anyway, that's my predictions. Cheers, Phil.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got music on my mind, I